What up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Just wanted to update you guys on pretty much everything that I got going on. We had a busy weekend. We had EV Fest of 2026 happen. 14.3.3.3 has been really good to me. I just wanted to go over just community stuff, everything going on with Tesla. So let's get it, guys. I really need to start removing my pin before these drives. But what's up, everyone? Just hanging out, doing my thing. I'm going to go to my favorite city, Livermore, California. Go get some stuff from my wife. So I'll take you guys along the ride. Already did what I needed to do with Rizok, which I think, let's start off with that, guys. That is such a sleeper feature. I mean, I've done it so many times now. I mean, hey Grok, give me some good news about today.
Hey, great news today. A breakthrough shows HIV transmission reduced by 100% with twice-yearly injections. And the first live white abalone in 5 years was spotted off California, sparking recovery hopes. Plus, NASA's Artemis 3 crew was just announced. Exciting stuff for space fans.
I mean, you get stuff like that, right? Shout out to Llama Mama. She talks to Grok all the time, but I mean, that's literally what it gives you, right? The freedom of like saying that, to do that, or rerouting you without having to like mess with your screen or anything. But for me personally, guys, FSD 14.3.3 has been pretty good. We went to LA with it. I don't know if you guys will catch this on the screen, but hopefully, let's see. So my longest streak is 489 miles. I'm at 96%. I mean, when I first got it, did a lot of spiritual driving. This is kind of like a sports car at the end of the day, right? But 96%, almost 500 miles. It drove us to LA. I mean, just think about that, guys. Almost 500 miles, you not touching the wheel. And I'm not in that whole like streak thing of like, oh, let's see how long I can last. I'll be honest. One of the weird things is, look at that, boom. It almost curved my rim. I got out of it. I could tell just on the camera. I was like, nah, we're not gonna do that. It's just little stuff like that. But other than that, like, again, it's the safety aspect of everything that, in my opinion, Tesla is taken serious. Because if you look up the actual accident rate on FSD, it's 0, right? Because once Tesla looks at the film and they try to blame full self-driving, they're not even in full self-driving, they're in autopilot. So there's that. Just anyone watching out there, autopilot and FSD is totally different, way different. FSD, I just can't emphasize this enough, guys. I love that we have this tech. It's here to stay, but at the same time, guys, let's not ruin it for everybody else. Once it says supervised, man, unsupervised, then you do as you please with that information. But you still have to pay attention. I'm guilty of it. There's times where I'm a little laxed, but that's how much I trust this tech. But at the same time, I do understand that it still says supervising. I do see a lot of stuff from the X community that this update sucks, this and this and that. But I mean, honestly, so far for me, besides navigation, and like I said in all my videos, for those who don't know, Tesla makes their own navigation. Yes, you see Google on the screen, but that's just them taking their satellite information, I believe. For anyone in the comments, obviously correct me with that one. But other than that, guys, I mean, I don't really have any complaints besides the norm, which is navigation. Today testing, it's done 2 out of 2 good parking, pulling in and backing in, right always in between the lines. I'm not on that new update that Sawyer posted. I'll put that up here. I believe it's a vision thing. They enhance the vision. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that works out. I tried it on my lady's car yesterday, and I can tell you what, the Model Y, in my opinion, drives the best on FSD. I don't know if it's just like a mental thing or it's the stack or whatever the case may be. My wife thinks because the Y sits up a little higher, it's able to see more, which I agree. I do pay attention on the highways when it's tailgating, getting a little close, I should say, not tailgating, but, you know, when you're in the Y, obviously the theory of it sitting higher is true because I could see always double cars. One in front of me and the one in front of that car. But with a 3, majority of the time, it's, it can see the car, and then if the car in front of me moves a little bit and the camera's wherever it picks up sees it, then it picks it up. But other than that, guys, I mean, I don't really have big complaints. I mean, we all know that the Navi is being worked on. They obviously hired someone specifically for that. But it's been pretty flawless. Put it through its paces this weekend. I mean, I went to LA. For anyone that visits LA, just be in Mad Max at all times. I'll be 100% honest. Being in LA, you got to be in Mad Max, just the way how everyone drives. But I mean, guys, this update, in my opinion, I've had FSD since version 13. That's the only thing I can speak on. For me personally, it's running freaking awesome. Like I said, the only thing I have to complain is the Navi, which eventually that's, in my opinion, going to get hashed out. It's done a couple bad parking jobs. But for me, that's all stuff that can be corrected, right? Like, the way I grade FSD is how safe did you get me there? Because eventually, robo-taxis and stuff are going to come out, and these little quirks that we're complaining about will be hashed out and will be removed. But let's keep the main thing, guys. It is safe. It's keeping us safe. It's aware. I mean, there's stats out there that provide, 5 to 8 times reaction time, guys. So, but other than FSD, I wanted to talk about robo-taxis. I was in a space, Dallas, shout out to Dallas. He found a remote spot of a bunch of robo-taxis. For those who aren't very aware of FSD, we're using the same stack as the robo-taxis. So, that is, as a Tesla owner, I mean, that is amazing, right? Like, they could easily do the easy route, like, oh, well, you know what? The stack will only be on robo-taxi, and you guys have to do X, Y, and Z to get it. Like, that's the one thing I love about Tesla is, it's there for us at the end of the day as consumers, and what they do is so that way you don't do it twice. What I've learned being in this space, and like I said, it's not for everyone. No one may nerd out on it like I do, but like I said, I just like to have people know what's out there at the end of the day, and their mission is just recreating what was created, but more efficiently. Right? Like, top 3 things come in my head: walk away from your car locks. Summon. I mean, that's definitely in the top 3, right? Like, the fact that your car can drive to you from a parking spot. That's pretty nuts, in my opinion, right? And third is safety, right? If you look up the stats of Tesla, they're one of the safest cars on the road, and it's been tried and true. They've had trees fall on them, and people come out like they didn't even get touched. I mean, there's so many accidents, which obviously we don't want to happen, but you know, the fact that Tesla can guarantee you it is one of the safest vehicles out there, which, look it up, guys. It is, and there's so many testimonies out there. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy this tech. I embrace this tech. I mean, I kind of beat it in the head in all my videos. It's, you know, this is going to change the globe on, you know, just everyone's day-to-day life. You know, I talked to someone the other day, and they're like, "Oh, I stress out when I drive. You know, I get high anxiety in traffic areas, or I can't drive at night, or, you know, whatever the case may be of, you know, hindering you from driving." And, you know, this is why I make these videos for people that can't drive. You know, even if they don't get one, you know, even if they just watch my videos just to watch, you know, just having everyone aware that this is out here, guys, is is crucial. You know, I met someone the other day. You know, I usually wear my Cybertruck, my hat, that hat, but, you know, that's kind of like a conversation hat starter. I don't even know if that even makes sense, but that's what I did. And, you know, he didn't even know. He's like, FSD, what the hell is a FSD? And I'm like, oh, excuse me, full self-driving. He's just like, whoa, didn't even know that was out. So I showed him a couple summon videos. I showed him a lot of different variables, and he was impressed. He was honestly impressed, and he said he couldn't believe it that this is out. And, you know, like I said, guys, that's all. Just want people to be aware. You know, that's my mission statement, but behind my my videos is just letting people be more aware of what's going on. Real life, someone in a car, not, you know, like I said, this is raw. You know, this isn't edited at all. You know, I like my videos to showcase what it does in the wild, I guess. You know, that's what my lady calls it whenever I make FSD videos. Oh, you're going into the wild. So, yeah. I mean, the other person I talk to about it the most is my grandpa. You know, he embraces it. You know, my grandpa is 92, and, you know, he understands that the world will always evolve. I mean, it evolved in many different eras in his life, and, you know, just like with anything, guys, there's a good to it, there's a bad to it. You know, anything can be abused that's good, but, you know, I really appreciate Tesla taking their time with this. I understand, you know, there's investors and stuff like that we want it now, we want it now. But remember, guys, this company has only been open since 2003. 23 years, guys. Just think about that as when you were a 23-year-old. You know, and I get it, there's technology now, AI stuff can be advanced, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, companies learn, and that's it. Unfortunately, we are the expense to that, but I feel as if Tesla, for me personally, makes up for it. You know, listens to the consumer. Like I said, I went to a very cool event, private event on Santana Row, about how they designed the Model Y performance, and they said that they attested for 80% of consumer feedback. Which, I mean, who else is doing that, guys? Nobody. Right? They're thinking of, okay, what's the next vehicle you're going to design? You know, with Tesla, it's, hey, what over-the-air update are we going to throw at this thing? You know, not in literally that term. Biker, FSD handle that. 13, it would have been twitching the freaking steering wheel. Let's be honest, guys. But yeah, I mean, I lost my train of thought on that one. But yeah, I mean, no complaints, guys. I'm just excited that this is gradually getting better and better. No rushes or anything like that. We don't like to rush things at the end of the day. I think this being slowly rolled out is the way. Oh, that's what I was talking about. And, you know, investors and stuff like that. You know, I get it. You got your money in Tesla, and, you know, I totally understand that. But, you know, like I've heard in many spaces I've been, it's different, right? This isn't Waymo, this isn't Amazon, this is Tesla, the most scrutinized, watched company in the world. Um, you know, and I'm a firm believer Elon knows that, and the team knows that. So they're gonna take their time on this. And guys, once it gets unsupervised, we may think about all the old times, guys. Just enjoy the build up to this, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe I'm a little biased because I'm so new to the space, and hey, that's okay. But sometimes just hearing it from, I guess, a newbie helps. You know, I get it, guys. You guys have your guys' investments. Look at that, so smooth on that stop roll or whatever you want to claim that as. Usually, old updates, you'd be freaking DJing. You know what I mean? Shout out DJ. Other than that, guys, that's all I got, man. We're just gonna enjoy this ride to the end. I believe we got a 13-minute drive. I mean, drop it in the comments, guys. What are you guys seeing? What is the biggest complaint for you guys? What are you frustrated about? I saw a post today. Hopefully I liked it. I'm gonna try to find it when I edit a video. But it was kind of cool. He did this screen right here, but it was like front parking, back parking. There's a couple of different options. I think the UI looked pretty cool. You know, one thing about Tesla, they're gonna see that on X. You know, I think Tesla should be the next big update, is being able to choose orientations. I mean, it already does it right within itself, but we can't choose to do it. It just kind of picks and chooses when it backs in or whatever. You know, I would like to add to, hopefully I find that post. If not, someone link it down below. But I'm hoping that's an option, you know, or the biggest one that we see in the Bay Area is the trunk, the back of the trunk, a lot of dents. You know, I think with the way the camera is and how Tesla does their own navigation, which I'm sure they do their own testing in many different garages, you know, the whole nine. I wonder if there's a way they can create a software update to help with the trunk, right? Because the camera sees a bunch of stuff, and the front, the back, and everything side to side sees everything you're doing. You know, I feel like with the garage, maybe have a preset when the car knows it's in a garage for the trunk, if that makes sense. Because in the Bay Area, we see a lot of Model Ys specifically. I don't see a lot of Model 3s because they sit so low. But with Model Ys, you'll know if someone hit their trunk through a garage, because there'll be a dent in the middle of the trunk. But yeah, maybe hopefully over-the-air update on that. You know, the cameras already see a bunch of stuff driving into the garage. So can the AI sense that and see that? And then obviously you're going to back into a spot, right? You know, the cameras watch everything. So it's like, can the Tesla team design it to where people don't get their trunks damaged, right? Because a lot of people that I've seen in the Bay Area with the Model Y standards are elderly couple, which I love to see. But sometimes they don't know that type of stuff, right? Like, hey, you have to set your trunk height, you know, for this, that. So hopefully Tesla can fix that. That'd be awesome for our elderly folks. You know, I've talked to a lady. I'm not, guys, if you notice in this video, I'm not very shy. If I feel like you're open to talking to me, I'll talk to you. You know, I ran into a lady. She's like, yeah, you know, I got my trunk fixed, and you know, when I first got it, I didn't know that it went up so high, and you know, she hit her bumper, or hit her trunk on the concrete piece in the garage. So Tesla AI team, if you guys hear this, we already have a backup camera. Can you do a preset, or maybe the camera can sense when the trunk is going to hit? I don't know. It's an idea. That would be awesome. I mean, what else? Convoy mode. I get it. That's a pretty big ask, but you know, we know that Tesla can design that type of stuff. That would be great, Tesla. You know, eventually a convoy mode, meaning like if me and the Tesla owner crew of San Joaquin Valley travel together, we should be able to sync each other's accounts, you know, and be able for FSD to keep us together, if that makes sense. That would be awesome. I know so many people would be about that. So many people would appreciate that. But again, guys, it's the rules and regulations. We have a lot of asks, but I think what we forget about is there's rules and regulations to all this stuff, guys, and it needs to be passed and approved. And you know, there's a lot of common theme. Tesla is under the radar all the time, so you know, eventually I feel like that stuff's going to come. You know, obviously they listen to us as consumers. This lady is crossing the street. Tesla sensed that way back there. But yeah, I mean, what would you guys want added on to the next update? Obviously the spring update's out. I feel like majority of people have gotten it. Oh, speaking of updates, Tesla AI team. Guys, can we please at least get some reasoning why the Cybertruck does not have summon? Guys, come on. Summon, really? For the Cybertruck, that would be so awesome. My only thing I can think of for the Cybertruck not having summon is the size. That's the only thing I can think of that makes the most sense, is the size of the Cybertruck. But guys, please, and even I think honestly there's a subliminal message on one of the posts from Cybertruck's X posts, so I feel like it's coming soon. We're supposed to get 14 Lite soon, so I have a feeling they're just going to drop a bombshell, which would be awesome. It's for the Cybertruck owner, Tesla. They want to feel the summon. They want to feel the ass that you guys made. Not like that. That's the acronym of what it's called. Actually, smart summon. But yeah, guys, we got 9 minutes left. You know, my other question, because like I said, a lot of the comments is FSD 14.3.3 has regressed. What has regressed, guys? What is a regression? What do you guys consider a regression? Is it a navigation to your house? Is it, you know, a route that you've taken 100 times and it didn't do it this time? Parking preference. I mean, when I see regression without context, you know, those are the questions that I have. You know, what do you mean in regards of regression? I've had a super regression. I think it was on 14.2.2.5 when it first rolled out. My car would not make the left arrow turn that it normally freaking makes. It's made it ever since I got the freaking car. And one day it made a left on the left arrow. It was going to make a left, and then it stopped in the middle of the street, and then it stopped again, and then it went. And it did that like 4 or 5 times in a row. And next thing you know, I'm yelling at the mic, and the next day it goes away. I'm a firm believer, guys. They do little soft updates overnight. I don't know. Maybe that's me. But guys, we've been in standard mode the whole time. You know, I've been testing out standard mode. I was in standard mode in LA, but kind of a dead spot of LA, right? Where is that? I mean, Riverside's not really LA, but that's where I was. A portion of my day was Riverside, so I put it in standard, and I could say it's a nice little balance with like standard and hurry, with a sprinkle, a little bit of Mad Max, if that makes sense, guys. But I like the way standard drives. Try to obviously not be on Mad Max too much. It eats up your tires. You know, Mad Max is full send every single freaking time once it's ready to go. So, but you know, guys, if there's anything you're curious about, if you're a YouTuber, or if you're watching this video to research, or you're doing your research on FSD, feel free to drop a comment, questions, concerns. You know, if you're a new Tesla owner, or if you're going to be one, what questions do you have? Right now on my stats, my total self-driving stats are at almost 8,000 miles. I'm at 96%. My longest streak is 490 miles. When I say I don't drive, I don't drive. Like I said, that the 4% I'm missing is when I initially first got the car, I believe. And yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know what else to say on this one. I just want to end this video with a good parking spot. Hopefully it picks a good parking spot. And we'll see from there. But also, guys, another question I have for you guys is, I'm from the Bay Area. Anyone that's not from the Bay Area or California, is there any spots you want me to drive? I got a request to drive in San Francisco. Man, I eventually, I am going to make a video out there. I know that's a very, very, very busy city. There's stuff going on at all times over there, so we shall see. But I did my hometown, and I do want to pick a heavy traffic area. I could have done in LA, guys, but I just wanted to enjoy my time with my buddy. My buddy was with me. I didn't really want to make any FSD content. That was just kind of like a take a day off, enjoy it. That this weekend, EV Fest was awesome. I mean, speaking of that, yeah, EV Fest, guys. I mean, I love being in a community. I love community things. I think, what I've learned from this weekend is, obviously we love Tesla and what they offer us as a group, and the technology and everything they've done up until this point and more. But, the other thing is, cars in general bring a lot of people together, right? Being out in Long Beach this weekend and being around all the Tesla owners and just hearing so many different stories, and, we're human, right? We judge based on people, how they look. And I'll be honest, like, whoa, what the heck? Like, I would have never expected you to be so passionate. But that's where, you grow as a person, and you just, like my boy Press says, that's what's great about Tesla is we don't care about your past. As long as you're fixing yourself just like Tesla does for the better in the future and the efficiency for your family and whoever your loved ones are, that's all that matters, guys. Is, do better, get better, and my saying is do good, be good, and that's all you can do, right? You do good, be good, and, slow to react to everything. And, I definitely worked on that myself as an individual. And, that's something that I'm very proud of myself, that I pulled myself out of a certain hole and found myself again. And that was through the Tesla community, guys. The Tesla owner San Joaquin group has really helped me change my life around. Not to get too personal, but this group means a lot to me. So what I'm saying at the end of the day is, find a community. If you're a Tesla owner, you won't regret it. Don't be shy. I was very shy. We had a lot. I'm over here meeting a group that's been together for years on, and they adopted me, and with open arms. And I'm very thankful for that at the end of the day. And like I said, this is why we preach. Our owners club preaches community. Give back, have fun, enjoy your life. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Majority of us, we all work 9 to 5s, and it's just our way of being able to enjoy what we built and what we're building. So I appreciate you guys watching, but we are entering this lovely winery that my wife likes. And nope, FSD, that's not the entrance. That says exit only. So had to disengage there, guys. Like I said, I like to make real life content. Don't like to hit the cap button. I disengaged because it was going in the exit way. Let's actually send that back. What's up, guys? You guys are going to enter an exit only, so that's why I disengaged. The sign should be out a little more. I get it, but that's the reason why I disengaged. For those on FSD, guys, make sure that you submit your recordings. Oh, again, see? Not perfect, guys. It's talking all the goodness. But let's try the parking out. Other than that, guys, I got us here safe. Obviously, I'm supervising, and I took us out because it was going to go into an exit only. This is definitely a case scenario because anytime I usually come here, it doesn't do that. But that's okay. That's what the voiceovers are for. And boom, good parking spot. Let's check her out. Oh, took it out. Yeah. We're in the lines, guys. But anyways, yeah. Ending didn't go as planned, but that's all right. You know, that's why we do voiceovers and all. I still like to do voiceovers. I think they're better than just hitting a reason. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. And most of all, please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything or any city you want me to hit up in the Bay Area, let me know. Put them in the comments. But other than that, guys, we will catch you guys on the next one.